Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to another speed build. I am back. My computer is back. She is fixed. So thank you so much for hanging around. And I'm sorry that I haven't had any videos up. I had literally no computer available to me. So we are back and we are building a very cute and cozy cottage for a sweet little grandma and her kitty cat. And we are in Henford on Bagley. So I'm using a lot of cottage living. I also think I use a little bit of horse ranch and probably a whole bunch of others because I'm terrible and can't help myself. But first we're starting out right here with the front facade. I knew that I wanted a fireplace and chimney in the front of the home. So that is what I started with pretty much. That's the only vision that I had, and also just a tiny little front porch, and it does end up being a covered porch, but for now it's just open. Just figuring out how tall I wanted the chimney to be, and I do believe I make it one level taller. That might be later on, but I'm adding a little half wall so we can have a cap to it, and then raising those little side roof pieces so they match up. And we are working on the inside floor plan now. And we have the fireplace going in, obviously, from Cottage Living. I like the stone one in here. I think it looks really nice. And then upstairs, I thought I was going to need a little bit more room, so I just expanded the bottom floor a little bit. Also gave a little back porch area, and that way I could add a little bit more to the top floor because I wanted this home to have at least 2 bathrooms. I knew it would probably only have 1 bedroom, but I wanted it to have at least 2 bathrooms just in case we have any guests or in case, you know, grandma's out in the garden and she suddenly has to go to the bathroom. She doesn't have to go all the way upstairs to get to it. So that was the plan with this. I wanted it to be very accessible, I guess. But we're working on the roof now, and I kind of wanted to go for like a Cape Cod style roof, but it took me a long time to really narrow down what I was going for. So you're going to see me just moving a lot of stuff around for a while and shrinking and making bigger. And it was a long time ago that I did this, by the way, too. I think I started recording on May 14th. Because I had a recording from the 14th and the 15th, and then I had to just do a little bit more to finish it up. So almost a month my computer has been not with me. So I had to catch up. I had to rewatch this a few times so that I could remember what exactly I did. But we are here. It is all good now. So we have the rest of the roof going in, and I kind of framed the back area a little bit with that half gabled roof. And then I did make this chimney a little bit taller, so I had to move the chimney piece around a little bit. I wanted the interactive chimney with the smoke coming out. I thought that was a good touch. And then we have the horse ranch shingles going up on the roof. I think I also add a roof trim. I think it's just like a lightish brown one. This is before I decided to add the greenhouse as well. I also did add that to the side, kind of where the kitchen is. You'll see that in a little bit. But I knew I needed something in the front, and I didn't like the way that the overhangs were going, so I kind of pulled them all back, and that's when I realized this big empty space needs a greenhouse. So that's where you'll see it going in now. And I did use the glass roof that we got with the Greenhouse Haven kit, and also the windows from Greenhouse Haven. I think I use a lot of that kit in the greenhouse itself. Like, I think I use the 2 tables and then the planters from Seasons. I think that it came out really, really cute. I like it. I love how the sun just comes through the doors and windows. It looks so nice. Also, can we talk about how those swatches on that door totally don't match the image? Like, the color swatch when you're flipping through from the catalog is not the same. Maybe we can get them to fix that next. I don't know. Add it to the very long list, but we're adding some columns to the front porch area and also some fencing from Cottage Living because I thought that it needed a little bit of cover and also something to add like some fun front porch decorations. And then I had to add the floor to this entire section that was exposed so that I could have a trim between the first floor and the second floor. That was very important to me. So I did that, and then I added the floor to the top as well so that, again, I could add a trim. I do believe when I start moving stuff around a little bit more in the house, I end up having to get rid of the trim because it was cutting through on the roof, much like that piece was right there. So the trim from the top floor to the roof probably ends up going away, but you'll see it for a little bit, and it did look cute, but it just was cutting into the roof piece. It was totally throwing it off, so I had to let it go. But here you'll see the siding I picked for the upper roof eaves. I use the scalloped white one from Cats and Dogs, and then for the rest of the home I use this kind of sage green siding from growing together, and I thought that was really, really nice. I was trying to keep it really kind of neutral and cozy feeling, and like, you know, this is a single grandma. I don't know if she has any grandchildren or if she's just like the neighborhood grandma. Everybody goes to her house to hang out and to have cookies when she bakes and play in her yard with her chickens and her cat. I don't know. I thought it was fun. So she is a very independent and free-spirited grandma, in my opinion. And she has a very cute open concept living and dining and kitchen space. There's just that little archway that separates the kitchen and dining from the rest of the home. Also a cute little door from cottage living into the greenhouse. And then I use these countertops and the upper cabinets from the country kitchen kit, as well as the stove and the fridge, because I really like this green tone. I thought that it matched really nicely with the rest of the theme, because I was kind of going for like pastels and muted colors. I think it looks really, really nice. Here's that stove I was talking about pulling out now. I love the like off-white and green tones on that stove, and I don't get to use that one very often because it is very like on the nose when it comes to a country kitchen. So it's very, it's hard to use in like a normal family home and actually make it look nice. But obviously in this case, it is perfect. And then I did end up moving the upper cabinets up a little bit, and I had to make kind of a custom cabinet piece over here with alt placement because those pieces are actually reversed. That one that I'm placing there is supposed to be on the other side, but that's okay. I like it better this way anyway. And then of course a base game sink and these cute little square windows behind the sink and those countertops there, because I thought it needed a little bit more light in the kitchen, and I kind of just lined them up here on the back wall with a little bit of tool mod help because it needed it. I can never get them to line up properly without the tool mod. I don't understand why. But then we have more of these cottage living windows going in with the shutter, and I think I just went with the neutral wood tone. I didn't want to give it any crazy colors. Also, this like kind of crisscross window with the open panel at the top I thought was nice. Bay window off to the side, and then more of these shuttered windows all throughout. And then I closed in the staircase because I wanted there to be a bathroom on the other side of the stairs, so it's kind of like a staircase hallway type thing. There's no railing because there's a wall on either side. Up here we have the floor plan going in. We have the very large main bedroom, and then we have a second bathroom that's going to go in that itty bitty little space up there as well. Now we're back in the kitchen though, and we are putting down the Home Chef Hustle tile on the wall. On the floor, we also have the Home Chef Hustle tile for a little bit, but I do change my mind and I went with the country kitchen tile because I just thought it was really nice, and I couldn't decide for a while on the swatches, so pardon my indecisiveness. Of course, we have the light from Cottage Living because it just goes with the rest of the theme. Also a dishwasher from Parenthood. I figured she would want a dishwasher. She wouldn't have to do as many dishes, even though it's just her, but maybe she has visitors on occasion. You know, maybe she's friends with the Cobblebottoms. I don't know. But we have a little tiny table and chairs going in here. It's just a little single table with 2 chairs to match, and they're from Cottage Living as well. I went through the swatches on those for an embarrassing amount of time. I cut most of that out. Also, speaking of cuts, I want to know, do you like the cut transitions to not be the fade, or do you enjoy the fade? Because I've noticed a lot of other Sims creators don't do a fade in between their cuts. They just have it jump to the next scene. So I just want to know what your opinion is on that. Let me know in the comments, because that's what matters to me is the watchability. I don't want it to be obnoxious with the transitions and such. But that is it for the kitchen. We're adding a little tiny rug from Laundry Day as well, and then we have a little lantern and a plant on the table because I thought that was nice. And I added this little tiny painting that came with Cottage Living. I think I add that a few places in the home, so I apologize if that gets obnoxious, but I didn't know what else to put on the walls, and it's just such a nice painting. Also some aprons back here on the wall near the door because I thought that was nice. I was going to put another window there, but for some reason I did not, probably because I thought it looked like too many windows in the front. But here we are adding a TV just above this fireplace, and I did change my mind on the base game TV, and I instead went with this one from Modern Luxe because it has the pretty flower print on it, and I thought that the grandma would like that much better, and that is where that stays. And then I'm adding 2 comfy chairs here. Instead of a couch, I just went with 2 little cozy chairs, maybe one for grandma, one for her cat. I thought that was nice. And then some fireplace tools, as is essential, next to the fireplace, a little knitting basket next to the one chair, and that's when I realized I needed a little bit more space between the chairs and the fireplace itself, so that's why I moved everything back. And then I was picking the flooring. I used the same tile from the kitchen just underneath the fireplace, and then I use this flooring from Horse Ranch in this kind of pale, kind of honey-toned wood, and the walls get that essence of pastel, kind of light green tone on the walls. I think that's nice. And the rug from Cottage Living as well. I do have to size it down a little bit with Tool Mod because I wanted it to be in this orientation, but obviously I didn't want it to cut through the walls. And then I needed to add some lighting in here, so I use these kind of wall lanterns on either side of the fireplace. I do believe I end up moving them to the opposite sides of the walls. And of course there's a hanging plant from Bloomin' Rooms. I thought that a lot of plants in this home would make a lot of sense, so I tried to throw in as many as possible without being too annoying. And then we have this little bathroom here, so we're just going to add the standard toilet, the Cottage Living sink, and then the base game shower just in white, nice and simple. And I think for the walls I just end up using this base game one with like the tan paint and the bluish tile on the wall. And the mirror is actually from For Rent. I kind of went back and forth on the mirrors for a while, but I decided on the one that came with For Rent because I like the white tone and it's kind of ornate at the top, but it's still pretty simple. Also our toilet paper and our plunger. Later on off camera I add the soap pump and also like a candle or something to the sink, but I did not add it on this section of filming, and that was from the 14th, so my apologies. Also a towel on the wall, and then here in the stairwell I did give a little window just to let in a little bit more light. Over here in this nook we have a bookshelf going in from the Book Nook kit, and then I also added a chess table over here on the other side. I wanted to throw in as many activities as possible, obviously without being too annoying to, just kind of look like I plopped stuff down. But I tried to put down a lot of activities, a lot of plants, and around this time I think was when I realized I didn't have anything for the cat. So I thought this area over here would be the perfect spot to put some cat stuff, which I will do momentarily after I add these curtains from the Modern Luxe kit. And then I end up moving this bookshelf over a little bit. I didn't like how it was cutting in with the curtain, so I got rid of one of the bookshelves and just kept the single bookshelf. I thought that looked a little bit nicer, a little bit more clean. Also some sunflowers on top of the bookshelf. And then over here we're adding an easel, so Grandma has lots of fun creative things to do. A little cat tree and also some pet bowls over here. I figure one is for water and one is for food. I think I also add a little toy box for the kitty, and then a little scratching post in the living room behind the one chair, but I think that comes in later when I go back and do the finishing touches. Also, there's a nice little poof from Snowy Escape in this lovely green tone. I put that there in case Grandma wanted to sit there while she hung out with the kitty cat or something. I don't know. I liked putting a lot of little tiny seating areas all over this home because in my mind, Grandma likes to sit, and that is just how it is. So there's my standard bathroom light that went in the bathroom. Also this standing floor lamp from Cats and Dogs, and then more of this ceiling light from Cottage Living as well. And here's where you'll see I am moving these lanterns around in the living space because I thought that it needed a little bit more light in the middle of that space. And then I add these little firefly lanterns on either side of the fireplace instead, and I just kind of line them up so that I knew that they were in the right spot. Up here in the hallway we have kind of a little overhang, and yes, the roof is clipping a little bit, but I will end up fixing that. But in the grandma's room I did change the bed swatch, and I used this nice peachy tone on the wall, and then these end tables from Growing Together in the black metal with the mirror on top. I thought those were pretty fancy, but I thought that she would enjoy those. And also this little base game table lamp on either side. I thought they were really fun and flowery, and I don't think I've really gotten a chance to use that light, so I enjoyed it. Little tiny square window here just to let in a tiny bit more light because there is roof on either side, so there's not a whole lot of opportunity to add windows. I put them wherever I possibly could, and here's some more windows in the back here. And then this little tiny spot is going to be the bathroom, but first we're going to add the dresser from Cottage Living and a nice little cozy chair from Dream Home Decorator. Here's that toilet and sink going in, and then I think I just repeat everything from the downstairs. Yes, I do. And I use this pink and tiled wallpaper from Growing Together because I thought maybe for her bathroom she could have it nice and pink and girly just the way she likes it. And also a soap pump and toothpaste because you need that. Of course, a little towel on the wall from Growing Together as well because, of course, I just can't help myself. I gotta throw in every single pack, I'm sorry. But another little wall towel, and then I think I also add another window over here behind the toilet and some clutter on the back of the toilet later on, but also a robe on the wall here for Grandma. So she is nice and cozy after her shower. There's that candle going in, and I think I used this pretty flowery toilet paper on the back of the toilet as well, and a nice big comfy rug from Growing Together in Grandma's room. And then we're into the greenhouse where we're adding lots of flower pots, some vertical planters as well. Wanted her to have lots of options. Later on, I also add the barrel trash can in here as well. Since there is no trash can in the kitchen space itself, I figure having it in the greenhouse made a lot of sense. Maybe that's like the compost bin or something, and she uses it for her planting. I don't know, maybe, makes sense. And then here's those 2 decorative garden tables from the Greenhouse Haven kit. I wish they weren't decorative, but alas, here we are. And then we needed a little bit more light in here, so I added another lantern and also this flowery wall decoration that I think came with seasons. It's really pretty, and I don't get to use it that often. I think they're supposed to be like succulents, and repeating the tile from the kitchen and greenhouse onto this back patio space using this lovely bench that came with outdoor retreat, and of course the flower cart because that's from Cottage Living and I had to, and a little set of plants from the Perfect Patio, I believe, and also a wreath on the front of the fireplace because I just thought it needed something more in the front. Here's some flower boxes I added, and then I used the tool mod to move them over right into position, and then I raised them up so it looks like they're kind of resting on the fence right there. And I tried drawing a wall first and then putting them down, but it screwed up everything and everything wanted to move. I just couldn't be bothered. That's why tool mod is so nice. And of course we're also adding a little lattice overhang here on the side of the deck because I didn't want it to be completely covered, but it just didn't look right to have that be blank. So I wanted to add my lattice over top. I just thought it looked really, really cute. And then here in the front, we're going to be picking out our fencing from Cottage Living. And I pretty much just fence in the whole yard because she does have chickens and a cat. So I would think that she doesn't want them to be able to easily escape her. She is also right on the road, so I thought that made a lot more sense. And we're adding this paver from Get Together, I believe, and then I grab this little, it's almost like a rug, but it's actually a stone. I grabbed that is also from Get Together, and I placed it, I tried to line it up with the terrain that came just off lot, and I used tool mod to size up these little rock rug things, and then line them up ever so slightly and get them to the correct size so that it looked a little bit more seamless from off lot to Grandma's lot. And I think it looks pretty okay. It's not 100%. It's not nearly as weathered as the other ones, but I think it gets the point across. So let me know what you think in the comments. But we have some plants going in and some bushes and some flowers, just lots of different stuff because I think that Grandma is outside all the time gardening and planting, and she likes being outside with all of her little critters. She doesn't have any bunnies on this lot, but she does have chickens, and she has a bee box. Here she is right here. She is by Sim Sunshine 13 on the gallery if you want to go check her out or any of their other creations. They're very, very cool. I like it so much, so thank you to that Simmer. And then we had that scratching post that went in behind the chair, and in Grandma's room we're adding a beautiful painting from Base Game right behind her bed. We also needed a cat bed in her room because I thought that made a little bit more sense. Trying to figure out the lighting in here because I did want some lanterns on the wall, but these weren't quite bright enough, so I do end up exchanging them later for something else. And then we have this lovely plant from Basement Treasures going in on the ground and a little flower on the dresser from Dine Out. I also add this ottoman seat thing here from Cats and Dogs right up against the wall, and I do end up adding pillows to that from the Modern Luxe kit. But first, here's those lights I end up using. I thought they were very, very classic, and I just thought they worked really nicely, and here brought in a little bit more light. Here's those pillows going in. I think I used 3 of them, and then what I ended up doing was I took the tool mod and I rotated the pillows just ever so slightly, and then I rotated them the other way so they were kind of leaning up against the wall. And then as soon as I figured out the equation for how I wanted it to be, the other pillows came together very easily. So tool mod is quite helpful. If you have not updated it yet since the game update, highly recommend, because I had the luxury of not having to sit around and wait for the mods to be updated. I didn't have my computer, so I got my computer, I updated my game, I updated my mods, and was just able to get right to it. But make sure you update your mods, everybody. It's very important, especially to get those new items, which I'm slowly but surely acquiring. So woohoo, I guess. I don't know how to feel about them yet. Undecided. Here we are adding more cat stuff, though. We have a scratching post and another cat tree upstairs in the hallway because I thought we needed a little bit more cat stuff going on. And then outside, we are going to have a lovely garden plot for oversized crops. You can also plant regular crops in these as well, but I put in some oversized crops later on, which you'll see in the screenshots. Also picking out the chicken coop and the bee box right here. And then I think I just end up adding a whole bunch of landscaping. I also got the regular flower arranging table that you can actually use. And I put it back here on the deck just so that the grandma can make the flower arrangements and scent them with crocus. That way the bees will always be happy. That is a little hot tip for you. If your bees are always angry and stinging your Sims and you can't figure out why their quality of honey is poor, it's because they are unhappy. They like flowers that are scented with crocus. There you go. You are welcome. And now we have some more landscaping and trees and flowers going in. I picked out this big, beautiful flowering tree from Cottage Living, also some assorted wildflowers from Cottage Living, and some other flowering shrubs I just put on either side of these benches. You'll see I moved that bench from the back deck to over on either side of that tree. Then we have some more ferns, some more rose bushes, lots of other little ferns. I just kind of cluttered this whole place up. So if you like landscaping, this is the part of the video that you will enjoy the most. So how has everybody been? How has your game been? Like I said, got to avoid the update because I didn't have my computer anyway. I was also sick. Pretty much the entire time I didn't have my computer, which is great. My ears are still clogged because my sinuses have been so inflamed the last month or so that, my body just gave up. So it's kind of hard. It kind of feels like I'm constantly wearing headphones, even though I'm not. Everything is just kind of muffled and in a bubble, and I can only hear myself. So it's awesome. Gotta love it. But at least I didn't have to struggle through a voiceover when I had a cold and or no voice to speak of anyway. So I guess, silver lining. I don't know. But anyway, I hope everybody else is doing okay. Times are rough, I gotta tell you. But here we are. We're finishing up the landscaping now, just adding some more flower bushes. I love those black-eyed Susans. They're so nice. And more ferns and more vines because I just wanted something else on the walls to make it make sense. And I did have to move them a little bit because in some of the corners they were kind of cutting through. When I went to take the screenshots, I noticed they were ever so slightly just poking through at certain angles. So I do end up moving them. I did also add ceiling paint to every room in the house. I believe the bathrooms have the tile from Home Chef Hustle, and then the rest of the house has the same floor tile that's in the living room and the upstairs. So, and then you will just see I added that trash can into the greenhouse. Here we are working on the stepping stones that are in debug, and because I have better build by, I can use the eyedropper tool to just kind of select and place just like any other item. But if you don't have better build by, you have to literally pull them all out individually from debug, and if you lose them in the catalog and you just can't find them, it is a pain in the butt. So if you are able to and you play on PC or Mac, highly recommend better build by. Another hot take because it makes everything a lot easier. I think it also organizes things a lot better. Like, I don't know, I can't find anything when I don't have this mod installed. So it has been a lifesaver to me, but also a little bit of a curse because when I don't have it, I'm useless. But here we are finishing up placing these stones, very, very many stones. I cut out all the boring parts, and then we are adding the terrain paint all around underneath the garden beds and underneath the flowers and underneath the bee box and all that good stuff. So needed to do that. I have not had the bug where the terrain paint disappears if you leave the lot. So if anybody else has, let me know, because I'm curious how many people are still having that issue. I know that that was a big thing not too long ago, but I don't know how many people are still experiencing that. So also added that bench from Cottage Living and the little mushroom seat. And then over here by the back porch leading to the chicken coops, I added these hay bales, but those were actual seats from Cottage Living. So instead I exchanged them for these from Debug. And I also pulled out some of these other little items from Debug, like the soil and the onions, I think those are, that are in that little box. And then also a little kind of cozy little flower pot. I put a few of those all over the place because I just think they're really pretty. And then I changed up the bench to this one from Cottage Living for these as well because I just think they look a little bit nicer. And then we have some more Greenhouse Haven stuff going in, just some potting mix and like a flower pot with a trowel in it and all that kind of good little useless stuff that just looks fun. And then adding some more dirt underneath the bee box and the chicken coop. And I think I add a little bit more plants too around like in the corners of the stone path because it just looked a little bit naked to me. So about here is where I start adding some more ferns, some more flowers, really cluttering it up with all kinds of stuff. Also a little table next to the bee box in case you do want to make a flower arrangement. You have somewhere to sit it instead of it being on the ground. I thought that was a nice touch. I do that a lot when I'm playing, which is not very often anymore, but when I am playing the game, I do that a lot. So that is very helpful. Also adding some of these lovely patches of mushrooms and grass and just making it look really overgrown and like it's been here for a very, very long time. And then I think the last thing I do over here is just add a few more flower bushes because I wanted it to look, I don't know, a little bit more fleshed out, a little bit more cozy. Also some more mushrooms because it makes sense to me. And then here is our gate to the back entrance, just in case you want to walk to the other shops in the area. And then we have more plants. I just repeat a whole bunch of plants all over the place and more grass up against the fence line, more mushrooms. I think I also add more of those stone pavers over here as well, some more tall grass. I just wanted it to look really, really cozy and fun and like grandma's out here planting stuff all the time. We're just transplanting. Maybe the birds are moving the seeds around so everything is just spreading all the flowers everywhere. But here I use some terrain paint to kind of guide where I wanted to put more of these stone pavers and make it a little easier on myself because that is always nice when you can make things a little less stressful. And then when I was editing back, I saw I had so much footage of this. I'm so sorry. I cut out most of it because it was just too much. But there is our little tiny back sitting area in the garden, and I just think it looks really, really pretty. So I hope you enjoy it too. We have just a little bit more landscaping going in, and then we're going to have a little bit of live mode footage. I haven't done that in a while, and I just thought it was really fun and aesthetic, so I threw that in here as well. And after that, that's pretty much it. So I hope you like it. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. Tell your friends who like simming because I do all kinds of fun stuff. And maybe at some point I'd like to do a let's play, but I'm playing around with the idea. I just don't know if I have the time to devote to that. It is a lot of editing. But here we have Grandma. She's just making herself a nice little salad because she just, she's just herself. She doesn't have to worry about anybody else. What a life. And then here she is knitting in front of the TV, watching some of her programs. I don't know. I can't get over it. It's so cute. And then I think after this, we have a little bit of footage of her cleaning the coop because we have a dirty little chicken coop and also chickens out here just chilling and eating their food. The bees are pretty happy right now, but they don't have a flower arrangement yet. So, that is to be determined. Now we're spraying some plants. I just think it's really cute. I love playing in Henford on Bagley. I love farming. I love doing all of the cozy stuff. Here's her kitty cat, whose name escapes me at the moment, but he is sleeping in this cat tree and then does a big stretch because that's so cute. That's my version of a cat cam, everybody. But thank you so much for joining me here today. Please enjoy the rest of the live mode footage. Enjoy the screenshots. Be sure to like and subscribe and let me know if there's anything else that you want to see coming up because I could always use more ideas. I know a lot of people have been using the new packs that came out, the Riviera Retreat Kit and the Cozy Bistro Kit, I believe. I would love to do something with those, but you guys let me know what you'd like to see because that's what matters. I don't want to build something that you guys don't want to see. And I will talk to you guys next time. Thanks, guys. Bye.